Below are found the 30 heads of the zone girdling the earth subject to the zodiacal sign of Capricorn. Their seals are to be drawn in black color. Figure 295, Millen, 1 degree Capricorn, introduces the magician to divine magic, especially the magic of the Akasha, and teaches him how to produce consciously, in the Akasha, various causes in the magical manner in order to bring about certain effects in the mental, astral and physical world. As soon as the magician completely controls this kind of magical practice, he is able to produce causes in the Akasha principle long before their realization, even many years before their realization. By this the magician becomes a perfect master in the field of fate control and has his own karma as well as the karma of other people well in his hands. Considering his ethical development, the magician will never produce any causes which would have negative effects in any of the three planes. Such a magician will be entrusted with such a great number of secrets which he would have never thought possible. Figure 296, Melamo, 2 degrees Capricorn, helps the magician to elevate his own personality, thus putting him in front of the spiritual powers and thereby enabling him to influence man and animal at his personal will. Melamo knows magical practices by which one can proceed to the highest plane of power. Should the magician be interested in increasing his own power, Melamo and his subordinates will be pleased to give him their assistance. Figure 297, Porphyra, 3 degrees Capricorn, like many other heads of the zone girdling the earth of whom mention has already been made, Porphyra is an excellent initiator into the magic of sympathy and intermummial magic. Each head will provide the magician with different instructions and the methods for his practical operations. Porphyra informs the magician of many practices so far unknown to him, for instance, the use of fluid condensers in sympathetic magic etc. Figure 298, Trapi, 4 degrees Capricorn, helps man bear the blows of fate and disappointments more easily, especially in respect of friendship, love and marriage. The magician in connection with this head has therefore never to fear any such disappointments in life. Figure 299, Jonian, 5 degrees Capricorn, is regarded as the mysterious head of the zone girdling the earth. He is the guardian of all those already in the next world making preparations for their reincarnation. In the invisible world, i.e., the zone girdling the earth, where the deceased live, he attributes to those beings who are to be reincarnated in our physical world the place and surroundings suited to their development. He also instructs them how to produce the band of sympathy between themselves and the ripening fruit in the mother's womb. Figure 300, Apollon, 6 degrees Capricorn, being the ruler of the Mercurian Quabella, this head instructs the magician in the quabalistic transposition of the influences of the Mercurian sphere to the zone girdling the earth, and from the to our physical world, on the mental and astral, as well as the physical bodies. From Apollon the magician may also learn how to acquire a specially receptive mind, i.e., the enlightenment with all the fields of science of our earth. Figure 301, Parachu, 7 degrees Capricorn, all those people will find an excellent inspirer in this head who deal with drama, tragedy, etc. either as writers or as actors. If the magician is himself devoted to these arts, Parachu will offer him many possibilities for becoming a famous artist. Figure 302, Pormatho, 8 degrees Capricorn, is in charge of all earth radiation in our physical world. The magician is told by this head which earth rays he can use for his and for other people's benefit and which have a harmful influence on one's health. He also informs him how to protect himself against the malicious influence of earth rays. Apart from this, technology is indebted to this head for the inspirations in respect of all apparatuses which have so far come into use for measuring earth rays of all kinds. Figure 303, Amphiolion, 9 degrees Capricorn, initiates the magician into the whole anatomy of the astral bodies of man and animal. The magician also learns from him the scientific facts of occult anatomy and how to make practical use of these in magic. Amphiolion is therefore to be regarded as the teacher of occult anatomy, and the magician may learn much from him in this respect. Figure 304, Kojid, 10 degrees Capricorn, is one of the best initiators on the path to genuine cognition. He controls the learning of each man according to his degree of maturity and provides him with the necessary enlightenment on his path to cognition. He entrusts the magician with the methods which lead to enlightenment and omniscience. Kojid is the guardian angel of all students of spiritual knowledge, especially of those dealing within an awayaka, the yoga of genuine cognition. Figure 305, Surmiel, 11 degrees Capricorn, like Jonian, the fifth head of this zodiacal sign. Surmiel has also been appointed by divine providence to control the incarnation or reincarnation of every human being. He knows how long each individual must dwell in an invisible world in order to become mature for his rebirth on our earth, for his further attending the school of life. Surmiel can reveal to the magician many secrets in respect of the life and death of any human being. If requested, he will also tell the magician about the exact moment of his own death as well as the deaths of other people, and, likewise, the time and place of reincarnation. Figure 306, Eramihala, 12 degrees Capricorn, controls the higher astral magic and can therefore reveal to the mature magician many secrets of the invisible world. For instance, he informs him of the effects of elements on the astral plane, how the abandoned astral body whose spirit has already been reincarnated in our world is slowly dissolved by the astral elements. He can enrich the magician's knowledge with many other facts regarding the workings and doings of the elements in the astral world. Figure 307, Trisacha, 13 degrees Capricorn, has many methods at his disposal to bring about a quick development of television and teaches the magician how to overcome time and space in a simple manner. Trisacha is the initiator of all optical implements and allows one to see, in the Akasha, new inventions that are to take place in the distant future. Thus it will, for instance, eventually be possible to transmit and receive with only a small apparatus. This apparatus need only be directed to any spot on our Earth and one will be able to see everything taking place at that place. The people to be watched will not need a transmitter or receiver and, what is even more astonishing, they will not know that they are being watched. Television today is only at the beginning of its development. Before this head allows such or similar inventions to become known to the public, mankind must go through further spiritual and psychic development. At the moment such inventions would only be misused by man. What a magician is already able to see by television, i.e. the seeing regardless of time and space due to his fully developed clairvoyant A's, will eventually also be possible for the average human being in a purely physical way, due to appropriate inventions made by then. The future will bring the proof of these statements. Figure 308, Afamo, 14 degrees Capricorn, is an original inspirer in respect of physics and chemistry, and the people who have to do with the invention and production of gases of all kinds are under the special protection of this head. Afamo initiates the magician into the secrets of evaporation in nature, into the absorbing of liquids, and the return of water in the form of rain and snow. All the physical procedures in our physical world having to do with evaporation of any kind are controlled by this head. Furthermore, the magician learns from him how to produce rain and fog in nature and how to stop them and make them disappear. He is also taught how to turn liquids and solid forms into gas. Afamo makes it possible for the magician to behold inventions which will not be allowed to be made known to the public until the most distant future. Figure 309, Gases, 15 degrees Capricorn, similar to Pormatho, the 8th head of this zodiacal sign, controlling the earth rays and the relevant measuring instruments. Gases, too, is capable of teaching the magician the magical practice of locating earth rays, especially their magical detection by the help of divining rods, pendulums and other aids without the use of complicated measuring instruments. The magician is given exact information by this intelligence on new and so far unknown methods of detection. Figure 310, Masadu, 16 degrees Capricorn, inspires mankind to be economical, and teaches man to put aside reserves for hard times and for winter. He endows the magician with the faculty of finding out in advance the times of bad harvests, of famines etc., and offers protection by his subordinates, so that the magician will never suffer from any emergency. Figure 311, Arabim, 17 degrees Capricorn, is capable of informing the magician of occult botany and all its related fields. This head teaches the magician to understand botany from the hermetic point of view and to make practical use of it in magic and medicine. Figure 312, Amir, 18 degrees Capricorn, controls all crystallizations on and under the surface of the earth. All kings of gnomes and their subordinates are ruled by this head of the zone girdling the earth. Amir allows the magician to penetrate further into the facts and effects of crystallization and shows him where crystals, rock crystals, and various kinds of salt, precious stones and semi-precious stones are to be found. If the magician is mature enough and has reached a certain degree in his magical development, he is taught, besides other things, by this intelligence how to turn crystalline compounds into semi-precious and precious stones in the alchemical manner. Figure 313, Camel, 19 degrees Capricorn, controls all ores and coal mines of this world. He is the initiator of all people having to do with the mining of ores and coal. Therefore all miners, mining engineers and mining experts are under his protection. If the magician is interested in this field, this head will assist him abundantly by giving him a wealth of most valuable information. Figure 314, Paracmo, 20 degrees Capricorn, makes man acquainted with all kinds of herbs of our earth and is the special protector of those who gather herbs. The magician is taught by this head how to make out of herbs in the alchemical spagyric manner medicines for various types of diseases, including so-called incurable ones. From Paracmo the magician learns about alchemical spagyric essences and quintessences, the production of which is only known up to this date to a few initiates. The magician may learn more from Paracmo than he thinks or believes possible. Figure 315, Kukali, 21 degrees Capricorn, sportsmen of all types, especially hunters and mountaineers, are under the protection of this intelligence. To seek contact with Kolaki will bring plentiful results to the magician interested in sports. He will, for instance, learn how to make his body extremely adaptable in sports, so that his performances will become outstanding. Figure 316, Lario, 22 degrees Capricorn, is regarded as special custodian of divine justice, for he controls the doings of negative powers in the whole zone girdling the earth as well as on our planet in all three planes, i.e. in the mental, astral and physical world. This head sees to it that the negative powers never get the upper hand and that no chaos is created in these spheres, which, if it so happened, would have to be again equalized by the positive powers. Lario's basic qualities are harmony and justice. Figure 317, Lotifa, 23 degrees Capricorn, this head has to carry out a difficult task in the zone girdling the earth. It is his job to prevent people from committing suicide by warning them through their inner voice and by diverting them, if possible, from their plans. By the help of his subordinates he inspires people who are in hopeless misery, distress or disappointment, with the fact that life is something holy and cannot be replaced by anything. Lotifa has saved millions of people from suicide by way of intuition, by having inspired them with a good idea, or by having created a situation which drove away their suicidal thoughts at the last moment. People who could not be diverted from their plans and who laid hands on oneself are watched by Lotifa and his subordinates so that they do not regain their complete consciousness in the astral world before their normal lifetime on this earth has elapsed. When a suicide awakes from his state of twilight sleep, another head who is responsible for the reincarnation of man, starts looking after him. That head then sees to it that the suicide is embodied into circumstances under which he is able to catch up truly what he should have learned on earth by his fate. Every person planning suicide should be reasonable that it really is a great foolishness to wish to make a premature end to one's life, for by this act of will one cannot change one's fate in any way, quite the contrary is the case. one merely prolongs unnecessarily the time of the training and schooling of one's spirit, and at the same time prolongs one's suffering. Figure 318, Karma, 24 degrees Capricorn, is a ruler of the physical atmosphere of our Earth. He controls the drifts of air, warmth and cold, and fixes the preconditions for vegetation. Cold and warmth, heat, dryness, storms, frosts, all fall under this head's great range of competence. The atmosphere, too, has its secrets, and there will hardly be anyone with right ideas about this. Karma is quite prepared to reveal them all to a genuine magician. Figure 319, C. Gosal, 25 degrees Capricorn, reveals to the magician the secret of the matter of our physical world in its chemical and physical effects. The magician can get information from this head in everything related to our physical world. Figure 320, Sasyi, 26 degrees Capricorn, is a mysterious head of the zone girdling the earth, and every magician is especially interested in him, for he is the custodian of all magical keys and therefore strictly sees to it that these keys, by which enormous powers and faculties can be released, never get into the hands of immature people. Sasyi personally sees to it that the true mysteries remain hidden to the non-initiate even if they are published in hundreds of books. This head therefore may justly be regarded as the custodian of magical keys. Figure 321, Keliosa, 27 degrees Capricorn, is a magical assistant in moments of great distress. The magician who has at any time been in contact with this head is always helped instantly by him in moments of great distress and highest danger to life. Keliosa entrusts the magician, if he is mature enough in this respect, with quabalistic words of power which may only be applied in moments of utmost danger to life, but which save the magician's life at once. So, for instance, a murderer will die as soon as a certain powerful word is uttered, or the magician will become invisible or escape in some other lucky way by another word. Many other difficult situations can be changed by such words of power. Sometimes the effects are realized within tenths of seconds. No magician practicing magical evocation will therefore fail to get also into contact with this head of the zone girdling the earth in order to be informed of words of power to help him in moments of great danger. Figure 322, Rosora, 28 degrees Capricorn, is a master of acoustics in our physical world. Mankind owes its hitherto existing progress in acoustic communication over far distances to this head's inspirations, starting from the tom-tom of primitive peoples up to modern telephone and radio communications and all other inventions in this field. From the magic point of view, the magician may be shown by this intelligence the way in which everything to which the magician directs his attention can be heard over greatest distances i.e. by clairaudience, furthermore how acoustic vibration can be materialized over great distance, i.e. how spoken words, sentences, etc., can be intensified acoustically and thus heard over the greatest distances. If the magician reaches a certain degree of perfection in this, he can so materialize this phenomenon that even magically untrained people are able to hear the spoken words with their physical ears. The magician will also be given exact information on many other phenomena referring to acoustic transposition over distances. Figure 323, Ikarim, 29 degrees Capricorn, has been teaching mankind from its prime origin how to create the most manifold shapes from earth, gypsum, clay. In accordance with its development, Ikarim has inspired mankind to make pots, vessels, statues, and the like, from clay. Later he taught man to make bricks from clay, which up to this day have been an important constituent in architecture. The magician may not only be informed of everything in connection with the working up of clay, he may also be told about the healing power of clay in natural medicine and may learn which other natural means are to be added to the clay in order to bring about certain curative effects. Hitherto unknown curing methods in this line, which will be revealed to man in the future, will be shown to the magician by Ikarim. Figure 324, Ramjisa, 30 degrees Capricorn. The directing and controlling of the fish trade is the prevalent task of this head. It is Rabjiza who has taught mankind to tin water animals in various ways, and the magician can get a wealth of information on this subject from the above-named head.